So we are live. Welcome to the another episode of the Greatness Engineering Hour show. I hope you enjoyed the last episode last Monday. Today we're going to have again a phenomenal guest, and I hope you're gonna have the opportunity to learn from our guest and to really get inspired as well and participate. Um, and take part in the discussion and really put forward some insight as well so that we all can learn and all get really inspired by each other. So today, like I said, our guest is coming from Canada and is very inspiring. Is a very inspiring guest. He is young, but he has accomplished so much already, and it's amazing. You're going to learn from him. He's the chairman of the power of collaboration, and that's what he's going to talk about today. And he's done so many things. So many things. He's a World Civil Ambassador. He's a keynote speaker. He writes books. He coach entrepreneurs, and is also involved in consultancy in the supply chain industry. And I think he started something in Guyana recently in the agricultural sector. So very very multifaceted individual and very inspiring as well. Is an international award winner and Amazon #1 best-selling author, and his specialty is to publish, collaborative book, and he's going to talk a little bit about it as well, and also talk a little bit about branding and how you can build your credibility as an author or as a coach and become more visible, because that's all it is about today, is to be really visible, being credible, and that's very important as a business person, but also as a public figure, or even just as an employee as well, if you want to scale up your career. So let me welcome our guest. So we're first gonna start with our. So welcome, Raymond. Welcome, Raymond. So today we are going to be with Dr. Raymond Harlall. Is like I said, is based in Canada, and we are very excited to have him today in the Greatness Engineering Hour show. So, Dr. Raymond, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on your show, Murray. It's an honor and privilege to be on here with you.
Okay, so welcome. Just to, I don't know where, the audience is watching for. We have an international audience. Please, let us know where you're watching from, and let us know, if you have a question as we go through the show. So I just want to ask you, who is Dr. Raymond Harlall? Who are you?
I'm a best-selling author, a mentor, a coach, but most importantly, I have transitioned into more of a world leadership stage where I work in developing countries. I'm privileged to be working at various level with governments, international organizations like the United Nations, all the way down to the at-risk communities in different cities, different countries around the world. And what do? I believe that charity is okay, but charity does not solve the problem that we have of poverty, of hunger. What I believe is the answer is civil entrepreneurship. And as an entrepreneur, I have transitioned from in my early 20s to just being a business entrepreneur, just thinking about the money. And then over time, in my later 20s, I figure out, what can I do to give back? And that's when I start my charity work. Then after a while, I realized that I am just pouring a lot of money into charity, and it's not
Mhm.
bringing a return, or it's not growing. And let's say if I stop donating money now, it means people will suffer. So I
Mhm.
relooked at it and said, you know what? I need to change the model. I need to be
Mhm.
civil entrepreneurship. And the same way I'm able to continuously help myself as a business owner, I want to teach others that skill that's necessary for them to take care of themselves and their community. And I do that by bringing motivation, assets, resources, and particularly investment to get them started.
Mhm. So how easy it is, because especially, I mean, in developing countries where we're so used to be given, like you said, this charity. What are the tools that you use to actually? Because I think it's also a mindset problem. What are the tools that you use to be able to bring the right, help people to have the right perspective and the right mindset, so that they understand that charity is actually not really the tool that they need to get out of poverty.
Yeah, so I always share with my story because I was born and raised in a developing country, and
Mm-hmm.
now I've come to Canada over 6 years now, about 6 years, and I'm able to achieve so much. I started working in a warehouse as a laborer, then owning
Mm-hmm.
my own trucking company, starting a construction company, selling my trucking company, coming into personal
Wow.
growth and development, and starting building more companies, and learn how to start how to work, not work in my company but on my company.
Mm-hmm.
So creating a functional structures that can run themselves without me on a day-to-day hands-on hourly basis.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's good, and I think that's important as a leader, especially when you want to say something that you've been able to lead the way, you've been able to do it, and that's good that you've gone through the process yourself, so it
Yes.
becomes easier for you to actually teach and coach and lead others. Um, that's it comes down to another question that I have. Like any individual, I presume that you've had to go through difficult and sometimes tough moments, building all this, I would say, this new legacy that you have. So what are those tough moments? What are the ones that you remember that actually have been a key point in your life? And which hurdles did you personally face, and how did you manage, and how did you overcome them? And
Hmm.
the different processes and tools that you've used to do that, to come out of all those challenges.
Yeah, so there's a few things because
Mm-hmm.
positioning matters, location matters, resources matter, access to resource and the ability to get work. All these things are factors. And I want to start by saying Jim Rohn says, if you don't like something, move. If you don't
Mm-hmm.
like where you live, move. If you don't like your work, move, because you're not the tree. Trees can't move as they like. We
Mm-hmm.
can move. So sometimes it's not always possible, but if you live in a countryside, move to the city. If you live to the city and it's crowded, like with coronavirus right now, you can
Yeah.
move to the country so you have more space. It depends on your goal. I left Guyana to come to Canada as a student, for a better standard of education, and then I ended up staying there and become a permanent resident, then a citizen. But in Guyana, there wasn't as much access to higher education and the ability to work and go to school at the same time. And of course, I love my country. I'm doing so much work there now, but I needed to come out, see what the answers are, and then bring it back to my country, because there's obviously a massive difference in economics between two countries, and I wanted to see what that was. So my first struggle in Guyana was working hard but not having enough income. Also, I didn't have a broad view as to how the whole world operates and how it affects my country and geopolitical landscape and all of that. All you know is, oh, there's no work. What am I going to do? I should migrate to Canada. I did that. And when you want to know stories of struggle, as you come to a new country, you work for minimum wage, which is pretty good compared to a developing country. What you work for maybe all day, you can do in 1 or 2 hours in North America. So it didn't matter. I was working minimum wage, emptying boxes off of containers, one by one. Some shift, in an 8-hour shift, I would empty 8,000 boxes off of a 40-foot container, put them on skids, and then pass it on to the forklift operator to put it away. And I realized, the money is good, but the work is hard. How am I gonna make more money? At that point, I said, okay, I'll get a second job. So I had a day job and a night job, working so hard, realizing that the forklift guy makes $5 an hour more than me. He does not come off the forklift. He waits like 10 minutes until I fill the skids. Then he moves it and put it away. Then he come back, play on his phone, and I'm sweating there in this metal box in the summertime. In the wintertime, it's freezing cold because you're in a container. There's no heat in there. And so I figure I'm going to go get my forklift license. So on the weekends, I attended classes and I got my forklift license. Then I kept one job, get a forklift job. Then I had 2 forklift jobs. Then I saw truck drivers were making $5 more. So from about $11 an hour as a laborer, you can make 16. Truck drivers were making 20, 21. So, and they have more freedom. They're on the road. And then, so on weekends again, I still kept 2 jobs because you have to pay car insurance, rent, phone bill. And yes, it's a higher income, but the expense is so much more
as well. Exactly.
So trying to keep up and progress, it was quite hard until I got the trucking job. And now I have one forklift evening job, trucking job in the day. I always, for a very long time, 5 years straight, had 2 jobs, regardless of what it is. And every time I wanted to do more and invest in myself, I was okay, because I said one job will make me survive. The other one will invest in me always. So I kept doing that for a very long time until I thought I have made it big. I own my own trucking company, truck. Each day I was doing $1,500 to $2,000 in income from my trucks, driving from Canada to North America, pulling for companies like Amazon, Walmart, General Motors, Toyota, Ford, all these large companies. And one night I fell asleep on the wheel. I was driving.
Wow.
And I almost died. 40,000 pounds, 40,000 kilograms of load in my trailer. If I would actually drift off that road, the weight of my load would have killed me. And in that moment, I said, "Oh my God, what's happening here, Ray? You almost died chasing after money." That's when I realized it's not about the money anymore. My life was worth. If I have no life, what am I going to do? And I make this joke, and my wife laughed so much about it. I said, I'm a young man. I was like 28, 29. And if I died, there was lots of money in the business account, money in my personal account, and life insurance. My wife would have been very wealthy. And I tell her, in that moment, I thought, if I'm dead, maybe you're going to be on a beach somewhere with some new guy, just just, just enjoy enjoying all those benefits that I died for. So that's not good for me for sure, and I hope it's not good for you. So I'm gonna step back and relook at this whole scenario, because it was all about the money first. So you're young. I was obese, 200 pounds, eating junk food day and night. So it was a good thing that I got out of that business. So I first try to put drivers on the trucks, but they will call me all hours of the night, and the stress of was still there. It was actually worse, because they will do crazy things. They will drive with the tire not enough pressure. The tire causing the tire to blow away, which will be like $200-300 just to replace it. They will get tickets, and so I said, you know what? I'm gonna sell my trucks and get out of this company. I listed on a platform for sale. People started calling me, hey, is your company for sale also? I'm like, what do you mean my company? I said, my trucks are for sale. I want to stop. I'm not running the trucking anymore. No, I don't want your truck. I actually want your company. I said, really? I said, why? Well, we want company because my company has a good track record. There's not many. The insurance is good, and it's existing for a while. So that's when I went back on the ad and changed the ad to say company, trucks, and service vehicle for sale. That's so if I had to, I said, you'll get it all, but you have to take the trucks too. I don't need it. I don't need it. And that's when I realized the company valuation was more than the trucks. And that ring a bell in my head and say, that's one of the benefits of working for yourself, developing your own brand, starting your own company and maintaining it. Because now the name Ray Trucking Services was worth more than the physical assets. And I said, wow, I need to start more companies. That's all I thought in that moment. And I started 3 more companies, and they're all big brands now again. And because of my health at that time, when I sold the company, I met the mentor, Dr. George Grant. Great guy, health and wellness mentor, phenomenal. He's a professor. And we compiled this book together, myself and him and other professors from his university and students and colleagues and friends of ours. We got in this book, The Handbook to Holistic Health, and in it I told my journey of becoming healthier and getting my life back on track. And we have experts, everybody sharing their expertise, the doctors sharing how they help their clients, and most importantly, Dr. Ona Brung, the daughter of Les Brung, wrote a chapter about her dad overcoming cancer for 20 plus years, and he's still beating it every day. And she talked about how he healed holistically with aromatherapy and with holistic eating. And so that's the first collaborative book I did with 20 experts from around the world. And so far, the last year, that was 2 years ago. Last year, I did one on entrepreneurship, and of course, I've got the son of Brian Tracy to write a chapter about his experience and his dad, what he learned from his dad on entrepreneurship, and it was forwarded by Dr. Brian Tracy himself. And so these books, every year I do one of these books with and handpick and invite experts from across the world to share their story of struggle, success, and their secret to success. And if they can do it, anyone could do it.
Wow, that's just such a a story of triumph, starting really from the bottom and now inspiring people globally, not only in
Yes.
Canada but globally. and I hope the audience is, is taking note,
We have
because
some amazing people watching. We have
exactly, let me just
William, Elizabeth, Patrick, the
so
senior professor.
we have Lizzie,
He's
and
amazing. Lizzie
confirming
is
that
amazing.
George Grant is the best. We have again Lizzie, hardworking this guy, and we have William. William is watching from Ghana, who are very humble, and we also have so Bert is watching from Sweden, if I'm not mistaken. So really, really good nuggets for everybody to understand that it's not just about the right race and money. At some point, you have to look at something bigger. In your case, you started to see that your health was deteriorating. You
Mhm.
were not happy. Yes, you were increasingly making more money, but it was not about the money, because you just realized that you can make more money, but if you're not able to enjoy it and you lose your health due to that, then it's not worth it.
Of
So
course.
it's really really a really good good lesson, and we appreciate that. Just to come down to your area, the collaborate the power of
Yeah.
collaboration. And I've seen that you wrote all those collaboration work. Uh, do you think that collaboration is actually the key to success? Is it
Uh,
something that
yeah.
you think?
100%, 100%. And right now, more than ever, during COVID-19 and the fact that we're restricted to we need partners across the globe. You're in South Africa. I'm in New York City. Professor Patrick is in London. We are friends. We're colleagues. We have relationship built already. We've traveled and see each other, meet each other. Now we have that foundation to actually do solid things without worrying, is this person for real? Who should I work with? So
Mm-hmm.
collaboration is so key. I've seen many of the co-authors, and I've also done several other books. I don't have them all with me right now, but
Mm-hmm.
uh, uh, authors are now working together and doing things together. And each person in my books, I know them personally and I vet them.
Mm-hmm.
They're my friends. And then the beautiful thing is, at the Power of Collaboration live event, I usually launch the book and all the co-authors come. Some of them never meet each other in person. And that's like one of the most phenomenal experiences, to just watch them hang out, and the pictures and the videos of them chilling,
Mm-hmm.
because I love to do phenomenal book launches. On my last book launch, I surprised them all. We were doing a book signing the Friday evening, and I had a limo bus, because there was
Mm-hmm.
like 30 or 40 of us, pull up in front. I said, I'm taking you all for dinner. They have no clue where they're going. They come up the stairs. There's a limo bus. We were blasting down the highway.
Mm-hmm.
They had a ball of a time. So just I like to do it because you don't have to do everything with an expectation, and have to know what the result will be. I like to
Mm-hmm.
set it up so people can have a good time, and we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And the basic result is we'll have a great time, and everything else is bonus. So
Mm-hmm.
collaboration is key. My events are called Power of Collaboration, and I've been doing them 2-3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
The book that I do, the flagship books that I do, I own the series, the handbook series, similar to like the
Mm-hmm.
Chicken Soup or the Fur Dummy series.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so I own that brand. So every year I do one, and have the main author come and speak at the event. All the co-author come and meet. So that's
Mm-hmm.
a great event. Also, the power of collaboration has grown so big now that there's a Power of Collaboration Lifetime Achievement Award. And,
Okay.
and some of the recipient of those are ambassadors, particularly the First Lady of Burundi, Africa,
Mm-hmm.
King Oyo from Toro Kingdom in
Mm-hmm.
Uganda.
Uganda. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so some phenomenal people has received the Minister of Agriculture in Guyana, Professor Patrick Basinga in London, UK, Ambassador Dr. Christine Kochevek in North Carolina. So some phenomenal people are receiving the Power of Collaboration Lifetime Achievement Award because of their work because what they do, working with others and respecting other people from outside of the circle, whatever it's race, religion, location, whatever it is, to make the world a better place.
And that's what it's all about. And I think you're right. Is that we have to look at how we bring first happiness and bring people together, and the rest will follow. And that's a very powerful things to do by creating those collaborative environment where people can bring their knowledge, bring their wisdom,
Yes.
and help to make the world a better place. So that's really enjoyable. So let's look at some other comments as well. I have people watching from the Netherlands. So Ida is from the Netherlands. She's the CEO of very innovative TV, online TV, Gimsi TV. Welcome, Ida. And she's saying that it's very inspiring. We have also William again, and I think he's joining from Ghana, and he's interested to join the Power of Collaboration, if I understand from this. So really, a good spirit for that. So let's just take a break to see what we're gonna have a video of Dr. Raymond, and we'll come back. We'll come back soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to the stage Mr. Raymond Harlall.
Sometimes you just got to go with the flow and move with the crowd and let them know that you're up there to give them a message.
There's a special, unique way to tell your story of struggle, of success, and then you take yourself out of it, and then what are your secrets to your success? So, because if I can do it, you can do it.
The most inspiring to myself and to others there. I saw everybody's face light up.
I just want to thank Raymond for touching my life, my spirit. Just being in his presence has been such a blessing on my life. I can't wait to get through the entire book.
It's the handbook to becoming the authority. Do you see the word author in the word authority?
This here is a leading voice in the future of the world, people. You're talking to a global leader. This young man will lead the world from the top. You heard it first from Dr. Clyde Rivers.
It tells you never judge a book by its cover.
So if you want to be an artist, you have to be an author. It's simple. And a speaker and a mentor. If you don't have the base and the foundation, being an author gives you credibility. Being on stage gives me visibility. If I have no book, what's my business being on stage?
Fantastic. So, wow, what a lot of wisdom. So, so basically, if I look at, I'm just taking the last statement that you made. If you don't have a book, what's left? So, can you comment on that just to understand?
Yes. Yeah, it was a bit hard. That statement, that was me speaking on stage, so I had to go hard on the audience, and of course, that 15 people from that audience actually signed up to be in a book, and we did that book, and it's called Level Up, and it was done in about 2 or 3 months, and they all came to Canada for the book launch at my Power of Collaboration event. But this is the book that actually launch. I wrote this book to present at that event in Atlanta, Georgia, and it's called The Handbook to Becoming the Authority. And the answer is in the title. So if you see the word authority, it has author in it. And so the point I'm trying to drive over that to become the authority, you must be an author at minimum, because it's about three things. Becoming successful, becoming authority is about three things. It's about what you know, and what you know must be compiled in a book. If you don't have it in a book, then how do we know you know something? So what you know, and then it's about who you know. So when I wrote this book, the CEO of Napoleon Hill is a great friend of mine. His name is Dr. Don Green. Don Green,
Yes.
a CEO of Napoleon Hill. So he's somebody that I know. So he says, Raymond, I love the work and I like to do the forward for it. So now I have the credibility from the Napoleon Hill Foundation for my work. So that I know something. It's been giving credibility by Napoleon Hill Foundation, and it was being forwarded by a great friend, Tamer. He works. He's a high level diplomat with the UN, and he was responsible. He was responsible for entrepreneurship throughout the globe, through with the UN arm for funding and making sure entrepreneurship was going on. And so he also forwarded did an endorsement for the book. So it's one, I know something. Two, I know people. And three, the main thing is who know me now.
Exactly.
And until people know you, you're not going to get anywhere. But you can't start promoting yourself without having a foundation of a book and having a community of people that are respected and have achieved something massive and big to endorse you also. So that's a simple formula. Is know something, and you can't do it. If you can know everything in the world, there's so many PhD professors who have all the knowledge in the world. Nobody knows them. They may have books, but it's underneath their bed or in their garage because they're not collaborating properly. They don't want to get out in the right audience. So it's about those three things. And I say, when you write a book, most people, I'm a publisher, I publish a lot of books. If somebody has a lot of money and say, hey, I want to write a book, I ask them two things. What's the purpose? Why do you want to write a book? And if they say, I always want to write a book and I just want to write a book, I don't want people to know me, I don't want to make money from it, great. Here's how much they pay me. I give them a book of their story. But people who are looking to expand their business, get more clients, get on stages, become an expert, get more consulting gigs, I say, okay, now we're writing the book for a purpose. And we have to put the message in the book. Throughout the book, you have to you have to write it in such a way that when people read it, they're like, you have to speak in the book, write in the book in such a way as if you are already mentoring. So as you read the book, you're like, Raymond is talking to me. Mireille is talking to me. And I can ask them this and that question afterward. And then you build client that way. They may like the content so good and say, hey, we have an annual conference. We would like you to be our keynote speaker. How much do you charge? We'd like to fly you in, and all these things. So you have to have a book. And it's about when I'm actually working with a client to get the book out, we cover 3 P's, and that's positioning, how we're going to position you in the book. Packaging is the actual getting the book done, and promotion. Who are we going to send this book to? Who should we have endorsed this book? Who are you going to send autographed copies to? and like you got a great clip from YouTube of me talking about book publishing and how important it is to be on stages, because branding is about credibility and visibility. So it's two worlds also. If you want to be branded, you have to be credible in a book, and that's how we bring the stage together, the book and the stage. That's why in that video I say, if you don't have a book, what are you gonna do on stage? Because you can get on the biggest stage in the world, and more than likely, if you don't have a book, you don't have any other products to sell, and you can get on a big stage and not make any money from it. At least if you're on a stage, you need to have your books for sale at the back so people could come and get autographed copies.
And there's quite a lot of things into what you said, because I'm myself an author, and I saw the difference, because I was in the oil and gas industry, and at some point I was stuck in my career progression.
Yes.
So I went the route of writing a book, and it changed the whole equation.
Of course.
I started to become visible and credible, because
Yeah.
I had those skills, I had this knowledge, but nobody knew me and nobody recognized this knowledge. But when I wrote the book, it started to skyrocket, and things have changed. And that's really when I started to really take off. And I really concur on writing a book and making sure that you're visible, and the credibility, and bring the credibility with that. So that's powerful, actually.
It is.
And
It is.
and I want the audience to understand that. Let's just go again on some of the comments here. So William, again, very active, awesome, congratulations. Ida, she's watching from the Netherlands. Offer Authority, awesome, Triple A, well done. And I think she's interested by your book, so she might connect later on.
You can get this ebook for free at my name, RaymondHarlall.com.
Okay, so we'll come back to that toward the end, so that they remember it. So you said that they can get it for free. And Lizzie, again, amazing plan. So fantastic, really. And we all have a story. That's what we need to realize, is that we all have a story inside us. It's just a matter of telling this story and writing up this story, if that's what we want to do. Or we know something, we have knowledge in an area, so it's worth putting it into a book and starting to be visible, because it's important. It's very important to actually scale yourself, extend yourself, and start to get to the right level in terms of development for yourself. So that's good. So the next question that I wanted to ask you is, you've been doing all this work, and it's really an amazing work that you're doing in Canada and internationally. But what is really your why? Why are you doing all of this? Is there a particular strong mission, or any drive that actually keep you going? Because it can be very challenging.
Yes, it can be challenging, but my why is finding the answer. Why is there inequality around the world? Because wherever I travel and go, people are people. People want the same thing. They want food, clothing, shelter, what's best for themselves, security, what's best for their children. Basically, no matter what religion, race, or country. But as I travel, I realize, and my niece and nephew, they're born in America, and I said, do you know Americans, and well, no, and Canadians and people in Europe and the wealthy country, you live in homes that are like hotels. Some people actual homes in North America, the standard is basically
Massive.
or even if you live in an apartment or a condominium, the quality of life, it's way better in some five, like the best hotels in some countries I go. So like, why is this? Why is this? So I've been searching for the answers to bridge the inequality gap nationally and regionally within countries. And now that I travel around the globe, I want to find the answer to what's stopping some countries from doing well and what's not. So I study economy, economics, and political science and all that, not on my own, not through school, and to find the answer. And now I've got it. Every person, marketing and branding affects a lot of countries. Like my mentor, Dr. Rivers, he says, I went somewhere very far in a remote part of Africa, and there's Coca-Cola. He says, how come Coca-Cola is here? If and he was talking about spreading the word of God and bringing teachings of Jesus Christ there. And he said, if Coca-Cola can get somewhere, he don't see why the message of Jesus can't get somewhere also.
Yeah.
So he was using that analogy, and so similarly, I believe that there's the marketing has gone too far into places, and everybody from Hollywood and the products and the stock market, the whole world's just thinking America or Europe and wealthy. Now, if you stop and look around, and what I'm doing right now in Guyana, my initiative to plant 1 million coconut trees in the next 10 years there. Why? It will make so much money. I'm drinking coffee right now, and my choice of milk in there is coconut milk that I actually get from Walmart in the stores here. So coconut, the milk, the oil, it's in creams. The water is good. There's so hundreds of product you can get out of coconut. Yet over the last couple of decades, I noticed in my country, Guyana, nobody's been planting as much coconuts anymore. Our great grandparents did 4 or 5 decades ago, and now they're so big and dying, and coconut is in high demand. And all across the country, there's coconut, but they're older trees, so they're not producing as well. And I realized, North America and Europe can't plant coconut there. It's a tropical fruit product. So I said, great, if it's in demand in North America, let's start planting coconut, and that will create economy. It will end poverty and hunger, bridge the inequality gap. So because we have rich companies are actually investing in our farms, because why? If they have, we have airplane air services investing. We have shipping companies. Why? Because these are polluters, and if they're polluting all day long, and if they can invest in green initiative, they look better. They look better, and not only that, they're doing their part to kind of cancel their emission. So they're investing in the farms, and now we are actually taking coconut trees and giving it to poor families, and say, plant these in your yard, because they have the yard space, they have lots of land, they don't have the investment to buy the trees, the fertilizer, and all that's needed to take care of the trees. So my company is coming and say, hey, what do you need from us to plant more coconuts? And so we're bridging that gap between rich companies and people who need the help to actually expand their farms, because coconut is a thing that doesn't bear in it takes 3 to 4 to 5 years for it to actually start producing fruit. It takes 10 years to actually fully produce in its prime. So now most farmers don't want to invest in that because it's too long for them to get money. We also have a program where we start paying the small farmers up ahead each month they're actually getting paid now for their coconut that doesn't exist yet. And so it comes as a loan that they gradually pay back after the trees start producing. That way they're sustainable and they can survive and have food, rather than initially I said, hey, I would have give this guy 10 US. What 10 US will be done very quickly, but if I help them take that 10 US and invest in a coconut tree, they'll be having food for generations.
And that's really, the system that we need to start to promote in developing countries.
Yes.
Because like you said at the beginning, charity is not helping. We've been,
No.
A lot of countries has been relying on charity, but it looks like poverty. It doesn't do anything to poverty. So it's
No.
time to use a different system like the one that you're using right now to really help the local people to take action and to be in control of their own development.
Yes.
By helping them when they need, but knowing that they're gonna put an effort and it's gonna be something sustainable, because that's the problem with charity. It's not sustainable. And
For sure.
it's
And
not going anywhere.
it's not sustainable. 1, 2, it sends the wrong message.
Yes.
It's like, give me, handout. And if I'm always getting, I will never want to start creating for myself. So now, yes, I partner with charitable organization that's existing on the ground as I go into a country, because they have good structure, they're reputable people. Of course, they have a good heart, and that is the only way they knew how to serve. But now I come in, and instead of giving 2,000 US to sponsor a girl to go to school, I said, great, but that's one girl, and I don't like the model. What I do is buy 20 sewing machines, pay a local seamstress for a skill school, because my global initiative is called I Empower Entrepreneurs through Skills and Development. That's how I empower entrepreneurs, through skills and development. So Guyana, I have that initiative. Also, the sewing initiative. It's good because although both male and female can take part in the coconut, eventually more guys,
more men.
boys
It's
will
more
get there.
physical.
Yeah, and it's outdoor. Now, to combat that, because I don't want that, I'm doing sewing machines for girls. Although a high percentage could be girls, boys can also participate in the sewing machine also. So we have a local teach, a for-profit business. When I go into a country, I'm in India right now, Kenya, Uganda, Malawi, I'm going in very soon, Guyana, and as I go in, I bring the first investment in buying the machines, and but it's a for-profit. I partner with a non-profit. Now, when it's all set up, I'm not expecting any money to come back into Canada, into my pocket. It has to be for profit, meaning it has to keep expanding to the whole country, and the money stays in the country, of course. And a portion of the profit goes to the NGO, because they're the ones that bring us in. But I don't take the capital and give it to the NGO and then it never comes back. I actually take the capital, start a for-profit business with it. When the business turns a profit, it gives 10, 15, 20% to the NGO. The balance of the profit is stayed within the company to expand and buy more sewing machines.
Which is more logical, because then you create jobs locally.
It's an
and
ecosystem.
And you create a bigger ecosystem, a sustainable ecosystem, and then you eliminate these charity things that we all
Yes.
go
Yes.
after.
It
and
doesn't
and
work. It doesn't work.
yeah, so I have some very nice comment from William
Yeah.
really loved what's happening. I think you're addressing the UN SDGs, so that's one thing. And then he's saying that you should be a UN ambassadors for SDGs, and I think you are already, if
I do,
I'm not
William,
mistaken.
I am a rep to the UN. I am
Mm-hmm,
a rep to the UN
mm-hmm,
for the Kenya Peace Society. Actually, I represent them at the United Nations,
mm-hmm,
and and you're right. So my coconut, all of my initiative, my coconut initiative actually hits all of the 17 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, and it
mm-hmm,
goes from as you said, why I do this. I want to end poverty, and when you say it, it sounds like Miss World or whatever. You
mm-hmm,
want to end poverty and hunger, but it's a big goal. And you may say, Raymond, one person, can you really achieve this? Yes, if one person everywhere say we can do something for
mm-hmm,
poverty, it's done. One
mm-hmm.
person everywhere, that's the entire population. And poverty
Exactly.
is not even 50%. So if 50% of the people can help one person, poverty is done. And for good,
Mm-hmm.
not by handout, but by mentoring. I think that's the best I can give somebody, my story of what I've learned. And I've learned so much from YouTube. You've seen my YouTube channel. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
uh, as I change jobs from forklift, the truck, the construction, I made videos of how to operate these equipment, how to drive a car, how to drive a truck, and all these different things. I put it on YouTube as just for my memory purpose and just
Mm-hmm.
to archive it. And over time, they started getting so many views. I have people from all over the world watching the video and say, "Thank you, Raymond. Because of your video, I now get a job." There is a lady in Saudi Arabia comment, or Dubai and comment and say, "I'm a lady taxi driver and nobody wants to teach me how to drive a truck. I'm a really good driver. Nobody
Mm-hmm.
wants to teach me how to drive a truck. But I watched your video and I went and I drove the truck and I got a job because
Mm-hmm.
but nobody didn't teach her. She already knew the principles of driving a manual transmission car,
Mm-hmm.
but from my videos, because I would refer from a car to the difference between a manual car and a truck.
Mm-hmm.
She watched the video, send me a message, say, "Thank you, I now drive a truck because
Mm-hmm.
you teach me on the video." And,
Exactly.
and so that was phenomenal. One guy commented and said, this is for a forklift video, saying, "Raymond, thank you for making my children's Christmas bright."
Oh.
That's my very best of all
Mm-hmm.
time. That one comment is all the reason why I think I did a good job with the videos, and
Yeah.
I keep doing it, and that's why we're doing videos now. I don't say no to an interview. Anytime somebody say, "Hey, would you like to come?" Yes, yes. It doesn't matter if one person hear it. That's all that matters. Because that one guy, he didn't say I got a job. He took it to a next level and say, "I got a
Mm-hmm.
job because I got a job. My children, I can buy something for Christmas for them." Think
Mm-hmm.
about that. And thousands of these comments. All I did was make videos and share my experience and how to operate these things, how to, because they're all technical. Most people don't teach you because these jobs
Mm-hmm.
are, if they teach you, then you get their
They
job or
think that they
whatever
get
it
their
is.
job, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
because of
It's
the
so
competition.
so
Mm-hmm.
I was and I'm able to go through all these jobs because I was looking for the money, looking to get a higher pay, and, and
Mm-hmm.
and now I accidentally figure out that a company is worth more than the actual asset, and that's
Mm-hmm.
when I went into developing myself, and
Mm-hmm.
now I'm a coach and consultant, and I get paid a lot, and clients come to me and they say, I would like to achieve this, and then I tell them how much, and then it is good.
Mm-hmm.
I a lot, many thousands of dollars people pay me for the service I offer because I can deliver.
Mm-hmm. And it's great value because and that's what we have to understand is that we have not only to develop ourselves, so put all the effort, time, money to expand ourselves, but we should also share, because if we just keep it, we keep the knowledge and everything for us, nothing is happening, because we have to share and continue the flow of information, the flow of knowledge. And
Mhm.
that's the value that we bring, that actually bring us the money. And the more value you bring on the table, the more money you get. And
Yes.
I seriously believe that, because it's happening for you and it's happening for me. You bring the value, and then the credibility is there, and then people come to you for service, for for consultancy work, and
Yes.
that's the way to go. You really
Yeah.
need to raise.
There's two Raymond. There was a Raymond that the passport or the ID card says Raymond Harlall. Now there's a Raymond that if you Google, there's gonna be news articles. You're gonna see me at the UN. You're gonna see me all across the world. And so there's two Raymond. You can see me. I have 10 books now. You're gonna see me on magazines. With some top people like Sharon Lecter and Kevin Harrington, and how does this happen? I became branded, and just like how a company, the name of a company is worth more than the physical asset of the company. If you are branded, you have a book, you're speaking on stage, you have good content, you're sharing free content on social media, on YouTube. People will come and look for you and offer you a lot, because you are worth more. Your value, your name, you become an asset, not just a normal person. So you have to build your personal brand, and that's what I like working on my clients to do. And I like to build personal brand and company's brand, because you need all the multiple streams of income you can get. And YouTube now pay me 400-500 every month. And how I started, when I started getting my small check of $100 or $40-50, maybe a year ago, I said, you know what, this I considered free money, and I said, I'm gonna sponsor one child. So I went on United Way, I think, and I put in my birthday, and I found this child in Uganda, and he's 11 years old. And I said, you know what? I'm going to sponsor this child because we share the same birthday. Not, yeah, I was 27 or 28, and he's 11. So I did this to keep me. If I sponsor 100 child now, I'd probably go broke, because it's $40-50. It'll be 4,000 or 5,000 per month. But instead, what I did, I started invest 4,000 or 5,000 per month into my own personal growth and development. You may think it was selfish, but temporarily, because if let's say I put 4,000 or 5,000 per month to sponsor 100 children, that's only still 100 children. And if I went broke, who's going to take care of them then? And
exactly.
And now I've invested over the years into myself hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now I can go to a country and work at the top level, sit with a president, a minister, a prime minister, a king, and say, hey, what if we did this program? Now, by one signature, one photo shoot, 1 million people life is better. So instead of me working 20 jobs to sponsor 100 child at my maximum capacity, I can now work. I invested in myself, and I'm now able to actually make a true difference at the top where it matters.
Exactly. Wow, that's amazing. I'm just, I'm always, so inspired. I already heard your story, but I'm always inspired all the time that, I listen to you. So let's take some of the comment. I think William is pumped up.
Good.
Where you,
I
good,
would
please.
love to come to Ghana and do the coconut. Coconut could grow in Ghana, I'm sure.
Yeah, we need you. And Ida, again, great job. I can deep bar for you. And
Ida,
I
it looks
think,
like you're a black belt. I want you as a friend for sure.
Yes, she's a former karate champion, so she's really good. So, amazing story. I mean, from truck driver to where you are right now. Wow, just like
Well,
Ida, I take a deep bow for you. So I just going to show another video showing, the
thank
power
you.
of the collaboration network that you've created, and so that people really understand
You're
to the
amazing. Yeah, you're
to the
amazing for
extent
doing these
that
videos. Like you're an
Hi, my name is
amazing
Raymond
host.
Harlall.
I'm Jack Canfield.
Hi, I'm Shara Lecter.
And I'm John Assaraf.
Hi, I'm Blaine Bartlett. Hey guys, it's Eric Swanson. And my name is Patrick Tracy.
And we would like to wish you
a happy birthday.
Very happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
My advice to you is to let today be the first day to the rest of your life. For a free gift, I welcome you to go over to my website, raymondharlall.com.
So you see how this young man is connected, and it started from the ground level, level zero to where it is. So that's just amazing. And like he said, he's been able to do it. So there's no way, we can also do it. You can do it. You have to put the work, you have to put the time, you have to invest in yourself, because it's just by investing in yourself that you can grow and that you can give back and help people. So, Raymond, just to finish, what are your expectations for the future, and what legacy do you really want to leave?
Yeah, I think if I'm gone now, I've done good enough. I've helped a lot of people transform their lives already.
So young.
It's good. It's good. I don't mind whenever that time is. But I have a wife and a son. He's just 11 months old. No,
Wow.
not 11. He's a year plus a month. So 13.
So 13 months old.
Yeah. So I gotta live for them for sure. And well, you're playing these videos. I'm like, wow, that's really good. But it's like I'm always on the go that I don't even look back at what was done, and I'm gonna keep doing that. And how did I accomplish all of this is because I have great parents. I was born and raised middle class. My mom's a teacher. My dad's a pastor. So they were very strict, but I was born and raised in a developing country in the countryside. So and all the people I knew, I call aunt and uncle and cousin, because my great grandfather owned the entire village. So it was just family. So I grew up among family, and I treat everybody as family. And it's a farming community. So then I wanted more. As I watch movie, as my parents started taking me on trips out of the country, I'm like, this is weird. I feel like I'm locked in the box. How can I expand and grow? And as I come to North America and have the opportunity to basically, the sky's the limit. But you work and you can invest or study anything you want. I wanted to see what was wrong here, why some countries don't have the opportunity as some, if it's just mindset or if there's monopolies and all of it. So I particularly look at the strengths. And so my goal is, my goals are so big to help so many people that no matter what I accomplish is still not enough, that it will keep me going. There's 7.8 billion people in the world, and we're having thousands every day, if not. So I want my story, if you're watching this, that I'm a normal person. I came from the bottom. You can go on YouTube. Some people's like, Raymond, you have accomplished so much now. You need to take off those crappy video on YouTube. There is no way I'm taking off those videos, because it's actually helping people to get better jobs,
Mhm.
and it's teaching them. And I put them up, and now you're gonna see, yes, this guy's just not. Some people get big and then they make up sad story to say they used to struggle or used to do that. My video proofs are there that I did that, but the main message is, if I can do it, anybody can do it. And I wanted to prove that it's just not about favoritism or luck or just talent. If you work hard, but if the goal is just about me, I would fail a million times over. And I'm not perfect. I keep trying. But most importantly, what you don't see, well, you may see this young guy who's doing all of this. I invest a lot of money into mentors. I have mentors that I invest in, and they keep pushing me to the next level always. And because the number one thing is, you don't know what you don't know. Sometimes you don't even know what you want. So when I get a client now, sometimes they say, I want this. I said, before I take on a new client, we have to have that discovery call and say, what are you expecting? And what do you like to have? What do you like to achieve? If it's something I haven't done myself, I say I'm not the right person for you. Because I'm not just going to take your money and try to give you something that I don't have a track record of achieving and doing for myself. And so when I say, great, some people come in and say, I want this, this, and this, and this. Great. Is that all you want? Because sometimes you come to a mentor and say, I want this, not realizing the mentor, that's like your grade one, grade one level. And you're coming to your teacher and say, this is all I want. This A, B, C, and D. And you don't realize the whole alphabet is there, or another language is there. And so that's how important it is to have a mentor. And the majority of the world, I think, act like operates on a 5th grade level in terms, because when we finish school, that's it. We fall off and say we don't need it anymore, but we need it always. So mentorship is important. Community, a group of people, having friends like yourself is phenomenal.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for this, for being so wise and for sharing your story and giving us some insight and showing us how you stepped into your greatness and continue to step into your greatness. And, I always tell people we are unlimited, and we have to keep going, keep expanding. That's very important. And in the process, we have to bring others with us. And we never do it alone. Like you said, we need a mastermind. We need mentors. We need coach. We need sponsors, and to push us to the limit, because we don't always realize the greatness, the extent of the greatness that we have inside of us.
One last thing.
Go ahead.
Before
Raymond.
I go, I must mention, because you're from South Africa, I'm
actually from Gabon.
Gabon, okay.
Yeah.
I am
like
so,
Charles.
Yes, Charles Ticheret. Yeah, phenomenal. I haven't come to Gabon yet, but I'm definitely going to come with Charles. I was so honored and privileged last year, and I think in November or December, to receive the Nelson Mandela Global Peace Award 2019. So
wow. Congratulations.
like to receive an award from the Nelson Mandela Foundation is like insane. He is like the #1 freedom fighter hero of all time, and I'm not doing this to self brag, because it's I just realized, I should mention, like you do the hard work, but the recognition will come. If you do it for recognition, people will know. You yourself will self-sabotage yourself. If you say, I'm doing this so people will know me, or I'm doing this for fame, forget it. It's not enough. It's bad. Just don't do it at all, because you don't want to get into an arena of helping humanity and start it on the wrong foot.
Exactly. And so you always have to look at something bigger. And that's what's continue to drive you. And that's what give you the strength unleash all this greatness that you have inside you. So great moment, great discussion with you, Dr. Raymond. It's been a pleasure to have you on the Greatness Engineering Show. And as usual, I always tell my audience, this is a real story of triumph. Don't leave anything on the table of life, because that's what all those greatness engineers that I bring on this show are doing. And people like Raymond are really diamonds, for us. And like he said, if he can do it, you can also do it. But you have to put the work. You have to invest in yourself, in time and money, and make sure that you have people around you supporting you, especially when you have moment of challenges and when you want to go to the next level. So thank you to everybody for tuning in. It's been, like I said, amazing. And next week, Wednesday, we're going to have an amazing champion as well. Miss Tanya Tomei. She's an amazing lady, and she's the #1 coach in the Portuguese speaking African countries, and she has a lot of energy. And you will also see the story from humble beginning to where she is right now. And I hope you'll be able to tune in on Wednesday as well, but a bit earlier, at 2 hours earlier. She'll be joining us from Mozambique. So thank you again, Dr. Raymond, and wishing you the very best, continuing your mission to empower people around the world. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for hosting this platform and for bringing great people and great content to the world. I appreciate you.
You are welcome. Take care and
Bye-bye.
stay safe. Bye.